Hello, my sexy, sexy foxes. So we're back at it with more MTG, playing some Magic the Gathering on Magic the Gathering Arena. Now, we are ranked. We've been Mythic for, I want to say, the past 4 seasons or so. Not that it's a new occurrence, but I took, sorry, that sounded way arrogant and polarizing, sorry. Not that it's a new occurrence, I've definitely been Mythic before. Yeah, sorry about that. I was just meaning to be informative more than anything. I took quite a long break on Magic the Gathering and haven't played since I think the Esper decks were kind of dominating the meta for a moment there, until Mono Red inevitably took over yet again. But it's not Mono Red's fault. It's not their fault that they're so fast. Anywho, I'm building a deck. Sorry, I have built a deck, and I'm playtesting a deck that I've built from scratch. I didn't copy anything off of a meta or take any deck lists and just copy and paste it. It's just an idea that I had and thought that it would be cool, and we're seeing if it just how effective it is. We win some, we lose some. You definitely lose rank percentage when you're play testing a deck that you don't know is going to be good or not, because you have to have some trial and error in there. But it's my cannabinol or cannabis deck, or token deck rather. Yeah, my whole life is one bad dad joke. Sorry for the puns, but there will be many. But yeah, as we can see, this is my my deck recipe for my cannabis deck. Sorry, token deck. And if like a keen eye, I'm sure you can already spot it, that it 100% hinges on life gain, not life link, but life gain, the criteria based life gain, namely ETB life gain, enters the battlefield life gain. So whenever creature, or in my case mostly token, will enter the battlefield, it'll trigger one of several effects that all are triggered off of that criteria. 64 deck card count, which I don't know. I don't know if it's because I love Minecraft too, and it's a full stack, or if it's because I am still playtesting this and haven't weeded out everything to get it down to 60 card count. So usually what happens, I'll start with a deck and it'll have a few more than the 60 card minimal requirement, and after I playtest it for a while, I inevitably whittle it down to its 60 to the 60 card count. Now, enough about that. Let's jump into it. We're going to go standard ranked, best of one, and hopefully we can make this deck sing like I know it can, like I've seen it do several times. But one of the major drawbacks of this deck is it is not a speedy deck, which is usually what you'll see in the meta, at least until you get to Mythic. It's like most people kind of just use red and speed decks like Rakdos and Boros until they achieve Mythic rank. And then once you are Mythic rank, it seems like a lot of people just kind of settle down. They're like, okay, I can stop being so Speedy Gonzalez about it. Yeah, because I do see far less Boros, Rakdos, and Mono Red within Mythic rank. Not that it isn't still effective, but it's like, okay, my guess is people are like, okay, I've spent the time, I've grinded my way up to Mythic, and I'm so done with Red right now. So you see a lot of diverse colors once you do get to that rank. All right, so we have 3 life gain so far, which Case of the Uneaten Feast, and then the 2 Hinterland Sanctifiers. What I am going to do, instead of bringing out those Hinterlands, is I'm going to get our Skrelv Hive going, because with Skrelv Hive coupled with Lunar Convocation and at least 1 life gain, it is just a never-ending machine. It just prints tokens and life. So, but yeah, that, like I said in the beginning, that is one of the biggest drawbacks of this deck, because that is, in order to meet that criteria, there are several cards involved, and any decent mechanic will tell you that the less moving parts, the better. This deck has a handful that need to be in place in order for it to truly sing, and that's why we're playtesting, to see if we can decrease the number of moving parts until it does become effective. So not drawing a land is, definitely not good. But at the very least, we have lost and gained life in this turn, so we can use Lunar Convocation's effect. If I had to guess, he'd probably I thought that he might have had some removal that he would have removed my my bat with, but he did not. Or he didn't think it was worth it. He could be holding on to it. Wow, that is quite the card for an Urborg Scavenger's effect. I have one as well, like an Urborg Scavengers that kind of hinges around this card, but mine was Rakdos, so it was red and black, which unfortunately locks you off almost completely from Vigilance. Vigilance seems to be an exclusively white or plains ability. Not to say that it doesn't exist. I just, in the current standard, when I was building it, so I guess in that deck's current standard, that was current at the time, I couldn't quite find anything to mitigate the Vigilance and still be able to squeeze it in with all the cards that I needed to make it work. All right, so let's... Yeah, nothing's stopping us from putting some more life gain on the board right now. And now those 3 effects will stack and our life will soar. Now, there's no beneficial reason to swing because we don't have Dollmaker Shop on the field or Anim. Let's see what he does now. Okay, so he's definitely looking at my creatures, probably going to see some removal. He could just be reading them, but I'm guessing he's probably a no removal. What do you have in your hand, my man? Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. Why would you take that out of your graveyard? You couldn't reuse it? Oh, you just okay. He's just looking to buff for the. What do we got here? Vigilance, flying, double strike, indestructible, trample. Good to know. All right, so no reason to block if it has double strike and trample. I would still take a significant portion of damage. Yeah, let's do it. No, that's a bad idea. No, shit. Oh. Okay, he was waiting for that anyway. At least we got some removal out of his hand. Or her hand. His or her hand. He's running the My Little Pony sleeves in Avatar, so I just assume it's a brony. Fucking weirdos. But it could very well be a female, not to be, exclusive or anything. Not sure if we'll be able to turn this one around. He's amassing some pretty serious heavy hitters early. Okay, so that will take care of that, at least a little bit. And I'm going to put it on a creature that is dispensable. One that I'm not too worried about him destroying in order to get his Urborg Scavengers back. Definitely don't want to put it on my Hinterland Sanctifier because this now has a lot of aggro drawn towards it because he's going to want his creature back. And if I put it on my Hinterland Sanctifier, it's gonna hurt me twice because he's gonna destroy my life gain and get his creature back. So I'm just gonna put it on something that's inconsequential if he does remove it. There is a reason to swing right now because I can get at least one poison counter on him. He'll block and kill one, and that's fine. I'll get one on him, and I need 3 for Skrelb's Hive's second effect to take over, which would give all of my Phyrexian Mites a lifelink. Another good thing about exiling the Urborg Scavengers is that the cards that he had used in order to buff it with its effect, and it's a very, very good effect, great card, but he had to exile them from his graveyard and attach them to Urborg Scavengers. So even if he does get his Urborg Scavengers back, those cards are now in exile, not his graveyard. So he can't use this one again to buff it. It's exiled, removed from the game, unless he has something that can take it out of exile. And cards like that are pretty rare. Like I can only think of a few off the top of my head. Like Quintorius has a very, very good effect that revolves around that. Ashiok, a planeswalker with loyalty abilities that involve putting things in and out of exile. I'm sure there's more. That's just what I can think of off the top of my head right now. Yeah, let's get this Cynical Loner off of my field. I'll take the 9. Yeah, he's clearly running an Orzhov Reanimator deck. So Cynical Loner being out there will allow him to stack his graveyard with exactly what he wants there. And obviously his deck hinges around putting things into his graveyard to use them later. And so that card is clutch on being able to have what you want in your graveyard. So we really need to get rid of that. Now, do I want to go with creatures? I really kind of want the draw power right now. So I'll skip Anim until my next turn. Bring out the Takasia's Welcome. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Takasia, I'm not sure. I call it Takasia's Welcome. Why are we swinging? There is no reason to swing. I will lose my creatures. Yeah, I don't have Dollmaker's Shop on the field, so there's no reason to swing with anything right now. Alright, so now we can block his Valgavoth. And Atraxia, either one, but most likely going to be blocking the Valgavoth just because it's more damage. Okay. It's a pretty good idea for him to put that in here. I think that's going to be... Yeah, it's life gain and reanimation, so... Good combo. Of course, we got a Cynical Loner out there. Yeah, he definitely wanted that back. Yeah, I think he used his Zor line to bring that back to him. Alright, so we got some life gain, which is very nice. Again, I'm going to skip on Anim. I'll play that next turn unless I draw something more clutch. And I'm going to go ahead, pay 2 life, and draw a card. Because I think that I will still have enough life to make it another turn. So, we got 4 blockers, no reason to swing. I'd lose all my Skrelvmites, and I wouldn't get a poison counter on them. This is a pretty formidable deck, and that this gentleman or lady is using, especially for what my deck kind of hinges around. They're both long game decks for sure, or maybe my deck is just making it a long game, because I do gain a lot of life, but so does he. He swings with big heavy hitters, which maybe it's kind of like a mid-game deck. My deck is more long game deck, which I know a lot of people don't care to see, but sometimes I'm in the mood for something different. Like I said, we all use our Rakdos and red to get to Mythic, and then we can relax and actually play the game. Like, now that we're Mythic, what do we do? It's like,
what do you mean? Now we can play the game.
He's going to be gaining some serious life on this one and take me down to... and he'll be able to stack his graveyard with more big baddies. What else you got in here? What else you got for your big O creatures? Of course. Of course. Flying Double Strike. What is everything that's on there? Flying Double Strike Vigilance, trample, indestructible. Yeah, that's a fantastic, fantastic card to use for an Urborg Scavenger's Reanimator. I mean, I'm a little jealous I didn't think of it first, to be perfectly honest. It did come out in the new set, and like I said in one of my previous videos, I have not scoured the entire catalog of the new Modern Horizons set, which I need to do, definitely. Let's take a look at what we got here. I will, yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice the mountain. There you go, have a land. I mean, at least he doesn't have Bandit's talent on the board. That would be problematic. All right, yet again, I'm gonna skip on the Anim. Hey, there's another. I could play Mondrak though, which would essentially. I am gonna play the Mondrak. Then I'll have something on the board that I can block his Cynical Loner with, and hopefully destroy it. And it'll essentially give me the same effect as having 2 Lunar Convocation on the field, but with a, it'll double all the tokens, not just the number of bats. How many blockers we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, still no reason to swing with anything that I have right now. And now we have 2 bats on the field instead of 1. Alright, good. So our Leyline of Hope triggered, and which buffs all of our creatures. Gives them all +2/2. He has too much on the field and too much life to just concede here. I don't see him conceding. I think that he believes he can turn it around, and he very well could. Like right now, well, between who has board control, it's tough to say. He definitely has tougher creatures on the field that are bigger threats, but the effect that I have stacking against and the stacking with one another is pretty. Is that an Elspeth Smite in your hand? Yes. Okay, so I'm not blocking for sure. Well, not with the Mondrak anyway. I'll block that Cynical Loner with both of my bats. I'll take the 19 damage from his flyers. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Urborg Scavengers as well. So, not 19, 27 damage. Oofda. It's gonna hurt. Hopefully we can bring it back with the life gain that we have on the board. Sure thing.
Sacrifices must be made.
No. Sorry, I was talking to my dog. He's a good boy, but he's an asshole. Okay, the better way of saying that is he's an asshole, but I love him. He's a teacup chihuahua named Courage. Waiting on you, my dude. Oh, don't time me out. I mean, you can. It doesn't make me any... It doesn't, improve or lower my morale. Okay. I'm just glad he didn't disconnect. Alright. Stasis coffin could be very beneficial. Let's think here. So we've got 5 mana. I think the good move to make here would be Lunar Convocation and an Anim. And the next... I'll just swing with 1 might. I know I'm going to lose it. Not everything. Jesus. Just 1. I just want to trigger Anim's ability to bring out another token. And I know he's going to block everything, so... no reason to swing at his Planeswalker, and it's all going to get blocked. Maybe there was a good reason to swing at the Planeswalker. Maybe he's not going to block with the Zorline. Why would he, right? So that's my fault for not paying attention. I definitely should have swung at his Liliana. Oh, well. Yeah, because I think Anim's ability is every time you attack. Yeah, just every time you attack. Whereas Dollmaker Shop is every time you attack a player. So you want to attack a player and not a Planeswalker. If you're trying to do that effect with to generate your tokens from Dollmaker's Shop. Okay, so we're definitely still in this. It was... Oh, okay. He must have realized that he didn't have anything in his deck to take care of the rapidly growing problem that my deck was becoming for him. He had 84 life though. I kind of hoped that he would stick with it a little longer. See if he could turn it around. That's 84 life that's not nothing. It's almost twice the life that I have, and yeah, you never know. He definitely could have turned that around. He could have. I doubt he would have whittled me down at that point. I was gaining far too much life, but he could have. Maybe he didn't have a lot of enchantment removal or permanent removal. It looked like he definitely had some creature removal in there, but didn't he exile me at least once? Oh no, I have nothing in exile. Never mind. Okay, so that is an example of this deck singing well, but like I said, one thing I'm really looking to mitigate is either the speed or ensuring that I have all the moving parts that I need, which admittedly is more than I would like to have. Like the fewer moving parts, the better, and this deck kind of hinges on having several cards on the field working in my favor. So anyway, that at least that's an example of a victory in my intended outcome and effects with this deck. So I'll end that one here. And yeah, hopefully see you guys on the next one. Love you. Mwah.